We are going to show you how to fill out a 1040 EZ form. The W-2 form is a form indicating what you have made total for the entire year. You, the worker, will have this either given to you personally or mailed to your home address. This is all depending on who you work for at that given time. By law, this form must be mailed to you by January 30th. The W-2 form has your name, address, social security number, total salary, and any taxes paid through the given year. Other parts of this form will have your employer, their work address, and your employer's state identification number. Knowing your employer's state identification number and address is only necessary if you're going to fill out your taxes online. We are now going to fill out the form 1040 EZ. For the income tax return for single or married filers with no dependents, you can find this at the library or online at irs.gov, and you will need the directions and the form. You will need to know your name, your address, and your social security number. Look at box number 1 on your W-2 form where it says wages, tips, and other comp, and whatever number that is in that box you have made that year. Transfer the number from box number 1 onto box number 1 of your 1040 EZ form and round any change. Normally, students will not have anything for box number 2 unless they have money put away from parents and grandparents. If you received a 1099 form, you will need to put that amount in box number 2. If you have received any unemployment this year, you have to make sure you enter the amount you made into box number 3. If you did not receive a paper in the mail stating you received unemployment, you leave this box empty. I'm going to explain to you about your standard deduction. There is an amount you can subtract from your total income. It all depends if someone can claim you. If no one can claim you, then there is an amount in the box that tells you that you can take out $10,350. We are going to assume you are being claimed. You will need to do a calculation on the back of the paper in which you would enter your total from box number 1 on line A, and you will already be supplied with minimum standard deduction. You would then pick the bigger number of the two. Then you would pick whether you are single or married and enter one of the two number choices. You would then enter the smaller number of the two. Then you would enter 0 if you're single or follow further instructions for married. You would then add lines E and F, and that would be your amount for number 5 on the front side. This will usually end up being $6,300. Then you will subtract box 5 from box 4 to get your taxable income. Your federal tax withheld will be found on your W-2 form in box 2, and you will put that amount on line 7 of your 1040 EZ form. The next part of your tax form is the earned income, and that only applies to you if you are at least 25 years of age. Under the Affordable Health Care Act, everyone is supposed to have insurance, so for our tax form, we will assume that you are fully covered, and we will check off that box on the form on line 11. If this doesn't apply to you, you will need to see the instructions manual to see how to fill out your form. Add 7 and 8 to get your total tax withheld. In order to get line 10 on your tax form, you need to look up the amount of the tax you owe. This number in the tax book instructions. Make sure you are using the 2016 numbers. You will need to know what your taxable income from line 6 is and if you are single or married. Find your income range in the book and slide your finger over to the single amount. This number tells you how much you owe and should be put on line 10. When you get to line 12, you will add lines 10 and 11, which will be your total tax. On 13A, if line 9 is larger than 12, subtract 12 from line 9. This is your refund. For B, if you want your refund direct deposited to your bank, you will fill out a routing number, and in D, you will fill out the account number. Next, in line 14, if line 12 is larger than line 9, you will need to subtract line 12 from line 9. This is the amount you owe. We do not have this on this form. The last section of your 1040 EZ you complete is signing the paper. You will also date it with the date in which you did the form. You will also fill out your occupation. For most of the students here, your occupation would just be a student. Along with your signature, every form needs a number where you can be reached in case there are any questions about your completed form. If you're requesting a refund, you would mail this form and a copy of your W-2 to Department of Treasury, Internal Revenue Service, Kansas City, Missouri, 649990014. If you are enclosing a check or a money order, you would include the form and a copy of your W-2. You will mail that to Internal Revenue Service, P.O. Box 37008, Hartford, Connecticut, 06176, 7008. Now that is how you fill out a 1040 EZ form.